Hello, Year 7. Hope you're all well. This week we're going to complete this. Hopefully you'll have something along these lines, and we're into our third week now. And I began to show you last week how we get these repeat patterns, and we use stencils or something round to draw around to get the lovely curves. Then we colour them in, and we can put birds and nuts and things like this and lovely leaves as well as the twigs to make a really nice pattern. And I think you saw me start putting the landscape in here. Well, you didn't have to do that. You could have, or still could, put something like space with stars and planets, or under the sea, whatever you like. But what we're trying to do here is get a mixture of different pictorial languages. We know that this is an A. It's the first letter of our alphabet. But the A is occupied by all of the natural creatures that we would see in the countryside in Lincolnshire. There's also an exotic foreign landscape. There is also some stylized pictures forming pattern. So we have three different types of pictorial language going on here. The written word, depth and perspective, pattern. This is what I'm hoping to see in your finished work. Now, let's have a little think about the literal Psalter and how it came to be. The books that came to England in the medieval period were informed by the travels of people like Sir Geoffrey Lutterell, who commissioned or had made the literal Psalter book. Now, he was a very rich knight, and he had been away on that historical thing called the Crusades, where knights in shining armour went over to the Holy Land to fight over Jerusalem and the ownership of Jerusalem. Now, while they were there, they saw and experienced things that were very different to what you would see in rural Lincolnshire, including the books and the writing of the Islamic people, the Muslims. And the Muslims had books of enormous interest, even though they were written in the language that was very difficult for medieval people in Europe to understand, and as they took a lot of time and were scholars, which was the language of ancient Arabic. And ancient Arabic isn't like our language, which starts in the top left-hand corner and works its way across. Ancient Arabic starts this way and goes in the opposite direction. Nevertheless, when you see the script on the page, it looks absolutely lovely. And so the people at the time took some of those wonderful ideas about the books that they'd seen and converted them into a language that was readily readable for the people of Europe, which was the language of ancient Italy, which most people would have been able to read, called Latin. And I think we've discussed that. Now, I've attached to this homework and show my homework some files and folders. There are some examples of Islamic art and a connection to the Victoria and Albert Museum. And the Victoria and Albert Museum has a gallery which is full of all these wonderful pieces of art which show calligraphy, and this is a very simplified piece of calligraphy, ornamental writing, that I want you to look at this week. So the practical exercise is going to take a rest for the week. This week we're doing contextual studies. We're looking at the art of another culture, and that is something that we're crossing over with in our RE lesson, which is also looking at the art of Islam. And I think some of you will have looked at those posts that I've put on Show My Homework already. So, what I want you to do is look carefully at the work, the files, the uploads and the examples I've put on the Show My Homework page, and work your way through them as best you can. But what I'm really looking for at the end of this double lesson is a calligram. Now, through the reading that you'll do in preparation for that, you'll see what a calligram is. A calligram is a picture made up of words, and you may well have done this at primary school. And I want you to do a poem about something you love, maybe a dog or a bird, but it should be written in the shape of a dog or a bird. I've put an example up there of a man just sat thinking, and the poem in ancient Arabic is all about him sat thinking and praying. So you choose one of your favourite things and do the poem in that shape, written in English, and make the letters really beautiful in what we call cursive script, which is handwritten, lovely script. Okay, I hope this is an enjoyable task, and I look forward to seeing your results, and by the time I speak to you again on one of these lessons, I will have done one myself to show you. Okay, stay safe everybody.